I mean, at least the marketing for this movie doesn't lie to you. I mean, everything is not awesome. So the Lego Movie 2, the second part, is directed by Mike Mitchell and stars Chris Pratt as Emmett Brakowski, who, after 5 years since everything was awesome and the citizens are facing a huge new threat, Lego Duplo invaders from outer space, wrecking everything faster than they can rebuild. Now, I was really excited about this film going into it because I'm a huge Lego fan. Not only in terms of the movies, you can see the Lego Batman movie up there, the Lego Ninjago movie there. I also do have the original Lego movie, it's just downstairs at the moment. But I do own every single Lego movie, but also I grew up with Lego. Like, I played with so much Lego when I was a kid. I loved collecting all the sets, especially all the movie ones and things like that. I was just a huge fan of Lego as a kid. And when the Lego movies came around, like I said, I actually only saw the first Lego movie this week, but I did watch the Lego Batman movie when that came out. I thought this was fantastic. I really enjoyed that one. And Lego Ninjago I thought was fine. I didn't think it was quite as good as Lego Batman, but I still thought it was decent in its own right. And the original Lego movie is absolutely brilliant. I love that original film. Even though I have only just seen it this week, I really loved what that movie did. So with that being said, I was really excited about the Lego Movie 2, and so far in 2019, this might be the most disappointing film. I'll start off with the positives though. For one, the voice cast is once again absolutely fantastic across the board. Chris Pratt is obviously as charismatic as he always is. He also has to pull double duty in this movie because not only does he play Emmett, but he also plays the new character of Rex Dangervest, and I enjoyed his portrayal of both of those characters. Elizabeth Banks continues to be a standout as Wildstyle as well. She was absolutely phenomenal in this movie, as she always was in the first film. And the other standout for me in this movie was also Tiffany Haddish. She was really good in this movie. I'm a bit up and down with Tiffany Haddish. There are some roles I really like with her, and there are some roles I find to be a bit obnoxious, but I feel like her voice lends really well to voice work, and I've never really seen that before, and I think that she did a really good job with this movie and just the role she had to play. I actually thought she was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed what she brought to the movie. This movie's also got just like a really nice message behind it. Obviously, if you know the twist ending at the end of the first movie where they now have to play together, the brother and the sister, you do get to see the message of, how kids and siblings should be able to play together and things like that. It's a nice message behind it, and definitely a good message for younger kids who, we all know what it's like. We all grew up in the same way where, we didn't want to play with our other siblings. We didn't want to share their toys. We didn't want to do any of that. That wasn't, we weren't going to do that. And, it's a good message in that way to basically tell younger kids, that you should play together and, you can create new, different worlds and new imaginations with, these other things that you may not be able to have otherwise. So I think it's a really good message for younger kids. And the film is, of course, references galore. There are so many brilliant references to other pop culture, especially DC ones. Obviously, this franchise is very DC heavy, especially because obviously we do have the Lego Batman movie as well. It's just a very DC reference heavy movie in that sense, and I did enjoy all those. Obviously, as a huge DC fan, just hearing these references, and also just other references to pop culture as well. Like there's a particular thing where there's a group of creatures that are all named after famous movie characters, and I thought that was brilliant. And there's a particular movie star cameo in the movie as well, which I found particularly funny. But I think all the references overall came together just to create a really funny movie for the most part. Moving into the negatives, however, I feel like the humour in this film does not stand up to the first whatsoever. I feel like the problem with this movie is the humour is a lot more flat than it was in the first movie. It doesn't feel as edgy as the first movie did, because the first film, not only were all the references absolutely hysterical, but the actual script and the actual character dialogue was really funny as well, making it a very funny movie overall. The problem with the Lego Movie 2 is that I feel like the overall jokes, the actual script and the dialogue is not as funny or as sharp or as witty as it was in the first movie. Like I say, the references are really good and they are really funny, and I laughed at those, but I can't actually remember a single joke, an original joke, that came out of this movie that I laughed at, whereas with the first movie I could recall about 10 just off the top of my head. I feel like the Lego Movie 2, the second part, is mostly intended for younger audiences, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I feel like given what these movies have been so far, this one feels like a massive standout, because the first movie I think is a perfect family movie. It's something that both kids and adults can enjoy equally. I would say the same goes for the Lego Batman movie and the Lego Ninjago movie for the most part. This film felt a lot more kid-friendly than all those other previous films did. It just felt like it was a lot more geared towards a younger audience. The humour was a lot more geared towards younger audiences, but then in saying that, although my screening for this movie wasn't particularly busy, the kids that were in the screening with me, I didn't really hear them laughing either, so, I don't really know what this movie was aiming for with its comedy. Also, this movie has way too many musical numbers. I mean, this is more of a personal thing, but I really don't like musical numbers in movies, especially kids' movies, because they really come across just incredibly cringy and seem really long because I'm just not liking the experience. I mean, Lego Batman had a couple, you know, the Lego movie obviously had Everything Is Awesome, which was a really good kind of staple for that movie, but this film has a really... I think it has about 5 musical numbers, and it becomes a bit annoying. It becomes a bit obnoxious to the point where I was just kind of hoping the scenes would end really quickly. Overall, the only way I can really describe the Lego Movie 2, the second part, is immensely underwhelming. I know that this movie has been getting better reviews from other people, but I just came out of the movie feeling really disappointed because I really like the first movie, I really like the Lego Batman movie, and I like the Lego Ninjago movie. So with that, I was really excited to see what they would do with this second film. I don't know what the problem was. Maybe it's because Phil Lord and Chris Miller didn't come back to direct this movie. I don't know, but they did have a hand in the screenplay, so it's difficult to really see where the problems are lying with this movie. But like I say, I feel like it was a lot more aimed towards younger audiences than it was to a whole audience, which I feel like was a problem. And the fact that I had kids in my screening not actually laughing at the movie either shows that the comedy in this movie is just nowhere near as strong as the first film. So have you guys seen the Lego Movie 2, the second part? If you have, make sure you let me know all your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let's have a conversation about this movie in the comment section down below. And as always guys, if you want to see more movie reviews from me, be sure to subscribe, and I hope to see you guys again in my next video.